Welcome everyone to the Carolina Don Show from the Magnetico Creative Network. I'm Carolina Sin, here with Jason the Don. This is our weekly free episode and sneak peek to the extended edition. We drop a show every week, so if you like what you're hearing, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more. And if you really love and want to rock with us, we will drop a link to our Patreon, which will have extras once you become a part of the family, including the extended in-depth edition of this episode. So let's jump right on in and get started.
To the track.
That intro is so clean, by the way.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Carolina Don Show.
What up, what up? It's your boy Carolina Sin.
We are here. We are back.
I'm super happy because I'm off for the next 4 days.
And that's nice. That's
I gotta
nice
get this
feeling.
cold under control. You know, some of the listeners be like, tell them to quit coughing. Shut up.
Man, you had it for like 2 weeks.
No, it's like chronic coffee.
So, everybody, again, this is the Jason. No, that's saying that Jason. We just got done recording the Jason. It's the Carolina Don Show.
He working.
Yeah, we working. We just got done doing Cole's show. And now we're recording this week's episode of the Carolina Don Show. And this week you're gonna see a little something different from us this week. We're gonna hit you a little different than we've been hitting you in the past couple of weeks. Had a little different idea on how I want to attack things. So this show we're gonna keep like we've been doing about under an hour, and then we're gonna release a couple of other episodes that are gonna be real short episodes on a topic. And you know, if you're interested in that topic, you can click on it, listen to it. If you're not, so it'll be kind of like some bonus episodes for you throughout the week. So on this episode, though, we're going to talk about something that's really hot right now, and it's the video done by RMR, which after doing some research, I found out that it's supposedly rumor. But I do want to say that we were supposed to have a guest today, Jimmy Missouri, who's supposed to be here to talk about a lot of the things that he's doing, positive things in the community. He is under the weather, cannot be with us today, so we're going to reschedule that interview for sometime in April. So we did make that announcement. I just want to let everybody know. He didn't cancel on us. He's just not feeling well, and with everything going on, we don't need to be spreading things around, so we've rescheduled that for sometime in April.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing I want to say before we get started is everybody check out E-Boats of Tampa. E-Boats of Tampa. They're open every day. This is downtown Tampa, kind of around Amateur Works, if you're familiar with that. They're a luxury electric boat rental company. You do not need a boater's license. They rent by the hour, and you can fit up to 12 passengers for the same hourly rate. Pricing and information is on their website, eboatstampa.com. That is eboatstampa.com. You can stop by waterfront restaurants or bring your own cooler and have a picnic on the water. So go check them out, eBoats Tampa, electric boat rentals and tours. We will, when we post the show this week, we'll put their link. You guys can go check them out, follow them. And I've had people, talking with people that listen to the show. How can I support? What do I do? Listen, we're telling you right now, go check out eboatstampa.com.
Right. Tell them we sent you.
Go to the Instagram page. We'll do post and tag them. Jump on it real quick. You follow the page show. Just pop on there, like them, and put at Carolina Don Show. Thanks for putting me on. Okay.
Doesn't cost a dime.
Doesn't cost you $1. But listen, talking with eboatstampa.com. Help us out. Go like their page. Check them out. And we're going to bring stuff like this to you that is cool. That we, different things that we see.
Stuff we would really rock with.
Yeah, things that we think are kind of good things to get into and go see. And, everybody likes to be out on the water.
Yeah.
So, again, check out eboatstampa.com. All right,
let's get
into this. All right. So, this video, Rascal RMR. All right. If you haven't seen the video, go ahead and hit pause now. Okay.
Right, and
go watch the video because I'm going to play the audio. The audio is a lot different than watching the video with you. Okay. So we're going to play it right now and Like I said,
A little bit of it.
go watch it if you haven't seen it. And, well, we don't even really know. We'll play a little bit of it.
Like 30 seconds of it. They'll get the gist. 30 seconds to a minute. We're not even gonna set you up either. Just listen to it.
I don't know why it's not playing.
Well, we're eventually gonna get it.
Yeah, we're eventually gonna play it. It was shot really well. I don't know.
It was. You got it?
I don't know what's going on. No, it ain't playing for
You
some
got the
reason.
volume up? You want me to play it?
I'm connected. I don't know why it's not playing.
Welcome to life.
That's because we ain't had the producer in here with us.
Yeah, the producer's just now coming onto the set. So anyway,
Sorry, I had to eat.
It ain't your fault. He was impatient.
Yes,
we
thank you.
got a lot to record today, so it's not working for some reason. So we're just gonna jump into our breakdown of it. So what was your initial thoughts?
Play it on speaker.
It's not playing from my phone. Period. I don't understand why.
She ain't gonna step right in and get it.
Because it's connected to the master bedroom TV, dork.
Ah, see,
That's
why she's the producer. That's why she makes the big bucks. That's why we need sponsors, because I can't afford her salary. All right, so
You got it? Because if not, I got it.
All down like rain. I put on that old song that we danced to, and then I head back to the track. Cause not much has changed. I've been hurt and fucked up too many years ago. Hoping I could come up quick along the broken road.
go watch the video. If you haven't, if you're living under a rock and you haven't seen it, go watch the video. Listen to the song, listen to the words, and
Oh yeah, we don't want to get pulled.
then come
play
back.
too much of it.
Then come back and hit play back on Spotify or Apple, whatever you listen to us on, and listen to what we have to say. So when you heard it the first time, what was your initial?
So I was watching the video and listening. So I was like scrolling through the ground, and I was like, "What?" So I'm gonna describe it a little bit. So it looked like the trap.
So it's
a bunch of
titled
cat.
Rascal.
Oh well, it's not a bunch. He got like a ski mask on.
Yeah.
He holding a semi-automatic rifle,
Them guns look like they've been used too.
and there's a couple other hood dudes there, and he's singing in like a Rascal Flatts type of
Auto tune.
Yeah, there's definitely some auto tune with that. But singing about trapping and hood stuff. Mm-hmm. So when I seen it, this is my first thought. I was like, man, I smiled because I kind of laughed, and I was just like, because I ain't gonna lie, with like the whole Old Town Road and the other cats, the country rap, right. I'm like, man, and I've loved country rappers for the longest time, like, you know what I'm saying, like Phil Mob, Nappy Roots, things like that. I was like, man, I should have got into, because I'm country as I'll get out. I should have got into that. That'd have been right up my lane. So I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I bet this shit goes. This is probably dope, but a lot of people gonna think it's a joke, and they not gonna pay it no attention. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's the same thing I tell my adopted brother, because he writes, but he writes about a lot of dark stuff, like really dark, like demons smashing nuns and like crazy dark stuff. And the same way I tell him, I'm like, there is a market for everybody out there. Mm-hmm. There is if you have a niche, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. There's people who are gonna follow that. This cat will probably be able to do shows off of this. He may not reach Jay-Z level, you know what I'm saying? But he can eat off of that.
Absolutely. Now, Rascal Flatts took it down. Rascal Flatts because of the sample and their
Right.
song "Bless the Broken Road," they had them take it down. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it is their music, and
They
I
had
get
that
it.
right.
But I went last night, and to get ready for this topic, I went and watched a lot of response videos from it, and I saw a lot of people like doing their homework on Rascal Flatts.
Oh yeah, it's good for them.
I
Because I like Rascal Flatts.
Touring. Well,
They get clowned a lot now.
right.
Like a lot of groups that are popular, and then like a new scene comes in, and then people like all of a sudden they clown like Nickelback. Everybody clowns Nickelback, but people was look at that photograph, like they was rocking, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean I like Rascal Flatts.
Yeah, and that's this month is our 15th wedding anniversary. That "Bless the Broken Road" was our wedding song.
Right,
So
there
it
you go.
means something to us. When I first heard it, my initial take on it was comedy, and then I listened to it again and listened to the words and the ski mask and everything.
Like, he put effort into it.
And then I'm like, and I looked how it was shot, and I'm like, okay, these guys either are doing this as a spoof and are brilliant because they know it was gonna pop, or this cat is really sings and he's a country guy. Then
Right.
I started trying to find other music, and there's not anything really out there.
Right.
They have an Instagram page. I follow them on Instagram. But I heard that the guy was on a show, I think it was Mike Dean show, and he sings like Brad Paisley.
Like, he can really sing.
He's a really country
yeah.
guy. And then when you look at the words of it, like, the funny part, the funniest line in it to me is the girls who broke his heart ended up girls he scammed. Like that.
Right.
It was funny. Like I saw so the one thing I'm not gonna do is like, there's negative things to it. As a white male, you watch it.
Right.
The F the Boys in Blue and all that stuff.
Right,
and you
right,
take,
right.
Like, are they trying to?
But the same
make
kind of
fun
NWA type of
yeah,
shit.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
When I can separate that, because like when they were saying 12, or do you know what they were talking about on that? Do you
12 is the police, so
Okay. See, I didn't know if that was, a deeper meaning. Something happened with one of their friends. I didn't know. So anytime somebody does something creative, I'm gonna support it.
right.
I found another version of the song.
Yeah.
And that's what it got to me. Everybody wants to put labels on music. To me,
Right.
music's music.
Right.
Is it trap country's gonna be a whole thing?
That shit's- I love it. I ain't even gonna lie. I love it. Because I'm gonna tell you too, right? So, like you said, it's either brilliant or it was trying to be comedy. But either way, it can be successful. When you look at Will Smith, he was doing comedy albums when he first started. Parents just don't understand. Girls of the world ain't nothing but trouble. Like he can have a lane with that. Or now I'm not trying to put him in this spectrum. When M bust onto the scene with "Will the Real Slim Shady Please Stand Up" and all of this stuff, people thought the same thing. Like people was like, "Oh, this is just a funny. He's just trying to rap funny." You know what I'm saying? And it took people. There was people that realized, all right, wait, M's actually talented. I feel like that could happen with him, depending on which he could go either way. He could actually be like, yo, I'm gonna make. So let me make it a little less over the top comical, like the super trap country, and maybe do something a little more serious, or he could stay trying to be funny.
Right.
Can I add something?
You do not. No, you can't. You cannot do that.
I know. I
No.
got to stop asking.
Stop asking. You're part of the show.
If I would have listened to it first instead of seeing it and listening to it first, I think I would have
You had a
better.
right.
I would have laughed
Seeing
a little
it
bit
makes
more.
you think the
Seeing
shit's
it-
funny.
No, seeing it kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, she got mad.
I was like,
because all the guns.
No. My thing was take the mask off, show your face.
But that's the
You're-
thing.
you're-
Right now, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah,
See,
but I didn't respect that, and I
all
don't
the-
know. I just think
You
if
remember
I
what we talked about, like-
listen to
Yeah.
it,
Right.
Yeah, see,
if I
Cynic-
listened to
don't-
it first, I
yeah,
could
I'm
get
not
talking
gonna
about
say,
that
I'm not
later,
gonna
but-
say
I
what.
could get the comedy. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I respect that, because the other one that you showed me where they had the plastic guns,
That's
none of
what
them
I'm-
were wearing masks.
I'm gonna play that one
That
now.
one was comedy to me because it
Right.
wasn't like real. They had real guns
Well,
talking
the
about
shit
the
he's
police.
saying about real.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like we don't know who he is. Everybody's trying to figure it out. It
Right.
could be somebody that everybody knows, but
True.
when we know somebody like Theo that's trying to make it, and you're trying to do everything you can right to make
Yeah,
it, and
it's
then
like
in
the
that
people that
song
do
he
naked-
says, "If you tell me some way, I'll quit the game. Like you tell me
Right.
how to stop. Tell me how to stop." Because one thing that we know as hardworking Americans, that all of us have full-time 40-hour-a-week jobs that we go to, we have to provide. It ain't easy out here.
Right.
It's not
But
easy.
why is it that the negative stuff gets people up there?
That's a question that we're going to
You know,
continue
like
to
why
ask.
can't the good
I
people?
mean, it's the same reason why the news leads with
Yeah,
shootings. and
media
stuff.
hype. Yeah,
it's,
it's just
It
it's
just
all the
draws
negativity.
people. We as humans like
we,
drawn.
we definitely do, and I'm even guilty of
I
it.
told Jen last night, I said, look, I support that song, that artist. I'm going to follow to see what's next. Because I think music as we know it, 2020 and on, it's changed forever. And our wedding song, Bless the Broken Road.
I know, and I think that's why it pisses me off more.
right.
Little
That's my love song.
Little Nas, you may have started it, and I can see Little Nas jumping on a track with these guys and doing something, okay? But this is why I think it's going to change, and this is why I support what they did. You cannot like the guns in the video. You cannot like the F the Boys in Blue, whatever.
Right, but it's no different than a Waka Flocka video.
Yeah, so you could not like that.
Right.
And it says trap, so
That's
if
their
you know
genre.
anything about trap, that's what it
It's
is.
like when we had gangster rap as
Right.
the genre.
Or if you're gonna go listen to some heavy metal, like you know what you're getting.
You knew what
in
you
that.
was getting when
Right.
NWA did Fuck
Right.
the Police.
So
Right.
putting all that aside, these guys put out this song with a country background with just the piano. Now these guys,
Have you seen this one?
these
I haven't
guys right
seen
here.
this.
Okay, so
I'm
you're gonna
going-
have to give it to him to
Okay,
look
I'm
at.
going to there. It's called. Look it up on YouTube. I'm gonna play this right now. It's called RMR Rascal: How We Made a Song Using Their Formula, and it's about a 11-minute video, and they're basically showing you how they put
They put it
a
together,
beat, the
right.
beat behind it. So I'm gonna play the end of it that has the song.
They got their little Nerf guns.
Playing 2K with the gang at the trap house. Bitch, don't bother me.
See, that go
I'm
hard.
ballin' like I'm Kobe. I'm the plug at the trap house.
They got
I
Toy
might be chopping bricks, selling weed, serving pills, pouring lean. All I know is serving fiends, and I need to re-up on the block. And
I'll watch the rest of it. I just don't want us to get pulled for the audio.
No, we'll take the chance to get pulled. Play it, because I'm gonna tag these guys. They only got
every day counting blues, making plays, not afraid to catch a op if he tests me. I'm never going broke. Made a trap house out the vacant home. Moving weight, you know my shooter's always on the side. And you can run, but you can't fucking hide. I'm never going broke. Made a trap house out the vacant home.
Yeah,
He
that
just
shit
wanted
hits.
to, yeah, he
You
wanted
wanted
to
to
do
drop
that.
because
I just had to have the beat
DJ,
go.
He wanted it to
DJ.
drop.
Them drums behind
Wanted
that.
that drop to come in. Yeah, that thing here, them 808s, boy. That
I was
thing.
watching that video and they was putting
Now
it together.
that shit, I like that one better than the other one.
Exactly.
I'll play that in the car
Me too.
right now.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. They put out that video.
And they actually show how they did, like
Right,
how they did it.
The making type.
Looping
That's
and all
all
that
we're
stuff.
doing. That's all we're doing. Right? So we're creating content,
Right.
and we're putting things out there. And they did a video. It sparked
Other
debate.
creative
It
mind.
sparked conversation. It sparked debate. It sparked other creative minds saying, "Yo, we could do something like this.
Right.
What if they put a beat behind it?" and
I
listen.
do
to
understand Rascal Flatts not wanting to be associated with it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just, you know, for what their demographic is and shit.
Well, and the heartfelt of their songs, like they
But
pull your heartstrings in almost every
I'm gonna
single
tell you
song.
this though, like growing up in the country, when we were 17, 18, country white folks, black folk, we all would have listened to that shit.
Yeah.
Like the same people who listen to the Rascal, teenagers wise. Now I'm not saying like you an adult, you set in your ways and shit. The teenagers that like at the time Rascal Flatts was hitting, and the teenagers that was listening to them would have listened to that too at the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, I hung out with quite a bit of people,
Right.
that were country.
Like there's teenagers
big
right
old
now that
tire
listen
trucks and
to country.
but they
and
listen
like
to a lot
Lil
of hip
Nas
hop.
X too,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I seen plenty of pickup trucks lifted with a shotgun in the back, driving down the road, bumping hip hop.
I'm telling you, I used to go when I came down, because I'm from Ohio, but when I used to come down here and visit with my family over in Mount Dora, Eustis, Umatilla, we'd go out to the woods.
Yeah,
The woods. That's what it was called, the woods.
right.
But I mean, there was hip hop playing, there was country, there
Right,
was
that's what I'm saying.
everything. So I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
100%.
I think music is changing. You know,
I think
there's
we
always
in that age now, anyways.
Yeah.
That's why Lil Nas X can have a viral hit. It goes across all genres. Just straight rap. That's why the Bobby Shmurda shit hit. Social media has made this possible. Between being able to pick up something like this for $600, things less. You go to Guitar Center and spend $100, $200 and have a whole studio set up, right? Add that with social media. You don't have to go spend $125 an hour at a recording studio, and social media is in your pocket.
right.
You are your own A&R right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need anybody else. You can be independent
And that's what we've been talking about.
and get shows off of that shit.
Calculated. If it was a calculated move,
Right.
and they were like, "Yo, I really like Rascal Flatts. I kind of sound like them." And this Bless the Broken Road meant something to me, but
Right.
I'm a trap dude, so I'm gonna make it my own, and that's what music does. It motivates you, it inspires you, and if that's what he made out of it, and it's a good calculated risk. Okay, it's kind of like you just said, take it down, and they may pull us off of YouTube, right?
Right.
Yeah, when the show's blown up, they may catch
But
it.
like every one of these versions has 50,000 to 100,000 views, right?
Exactly.
This dude could call a booking agent right now and at least get some hole in the wall clubs where he's gonna get 5K a show today, probably.
We ain't heard the last of RMR.
Right.
There's gonna be, and I think the same way it shocked us that this guy in a ski mask holding a gun pointing at us
Right.
came out and sounded like that.
And the video only looked funny because that's just not the backdrop you used to hearing with
Right.
it. Like, because that was my thing. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this shit is hilarious because I'm not used to hearing that with that.
Now, is RMR the name of the group?
That's the name of the group. And it's,
Okay, so
Or the
why is
singer.
it? So why is it? Because that wasn't the same group, but why is that RMR?
that wasn't. Well,
I think
that's
they
the
just
name
put
of
that in the
they
title
put it in
'cause
the
that's
title.
the-
It's catchy. It's just like
That's
on
what people
this,
gonna recognize.
just like this.
So
when we
he's using
published
the
this-
other guy's name.
I think
in
they
their
just titled
Or
the
is that-
video
or
that
is
way.
that a type of music?
No, trap is a type of music. RMR is the name of the group.
Okay.
They go by rumor. And then RMR, when I was looking up stuff, I guess RMR is a type of gun too, because I've seen a lot of RMR versus this type of gun. So,
Oh, that might have been what he had in the video.
but I was, from my research looking into it, it's the name of the group and it goes by rumor. Now, same reason we are gonna put RMR in our title with this episode. They did it for clickbait, but
Right.
I'm gonna reach out to those guys because there was 5 guys in the video.
I want RMR to call in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a.
No guns.
It was a bit aggressive from the beginning with all the gun pointing. And like I said, them guns look like they've been used. So I don't want no problems with RMR. but I support it. Like I have to say, you know. And then let me touch on something, and we don't have to go into it. And I know you've got some stories on the police thing that you sent me, but you know the F the Boys in Blue line. We get very when we say things like that, we kind of make it broad, like it's the whole thing.
Right.
I don't necessarily think when NWA said F the police or this guy saying F the Boys in Blue that he's talking about every single officer.
No, they're talking about the bad ones.
They're talking about the bad ones.
Right.
And we all know that there's a problem.
Right.
It's not. I'm not necessarily saying it's right because I don't like to lump say it.
It's the same reason when white people say fuck, I hate black thugs.
Yeah,
they're not talking about every black person.
Right.
It sound that way. It's when people get up in arms.
Yeah. So I wish that when people did things like that, they would. But it's also,
Man, you gotta have a higher level of intelligence.
Yeah,
though.
it also pushes buttons.
Oh yeah,
And
it's shock value.
And that's kind of another calculated risk, and it worked.
Please believe when they was like NWA was like F the police, they knew that was gonna put them to the forefront.
Mm-hmm. Well, because
You know what I mean? Like-
it really was a problem. You know what I mean?
They was getting investigated by the FBI and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that. It just it lent credence to what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, it's like I said, you got to have people have to have
an outlet,
a higher level of understanding when it comes to these things, and we don't. As a majority of people, we just jump on bandwagons with shit, right? So like we tell people are like, you know, like fuck cops, and then people are like, well, not all cops are bad. Okay, so you're on that side, and you can understand that, right? Just like I do. I grew up with a guy that's an officer, and that is like a brother to me, and I know he's good. He's good-hearted, right? So why can't the people who see it that way recognize that? So not all black people are thugs, right? Mm-hmm. And the same with black, like, no, it's not just black people that don't like cops. It's like my brother's white, and he's probably gonna have just as much problem with the officer pulling him over as anybody else would. But like, if you can be like, you know, we're not all thugs, then you got to be able to also recognize that not all cops are bad, right? We speak in absolutes a lot of the times. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and that's the problem. And we don't see, like we've talked about it before, we don't see gray areas or in betweens. It's either you got to be all the way one way or all the way the other.
It's that tribal.
Right.
Everything is tribal. You're either a Gator or Seminole, a Gator or a Hurricane, a Met or Yankee, a Democrat or Republican, left or right.
Right.
not all
Christian
fans are
or
nasty.
atheist.
Not all.
You know,
Yeah.
And
like-
then when you when you meet somebody, it's an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you're a Republican and you feel that way?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you voted for Trump,
but not all of y'all are bad then.
You know, if you voted
You know
for
what I mean?
Trump,
Same
and
with
support
Democrats,
him,
right?
You're part of the KKK. You know, it's you can't. They
Right.
don't allow that middle ground, and that middle ground is real.
What was dropped?
So, yeah, I mean, I kind of took us into another direction. I'll just,
No,
But-
but that's a great thing because
that's
it's
why-
also like the salesmen. Not all salesmen are crooks. Not all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All of
It
that.
goes into every situation.
Right.
And we do.
and we only,
generalize.
right, and we pick the side most of the and we're all guilty of it. I've done it.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Here-
mean?
Me too.
Here's
Like,
something else that we're guilty of. We base our opinion off of emotion.
True.
And emotion is not forever. And that's one of the things that a lot of people do, including myself. Everybody does it. If you look at something right off the bat. So now, I was lucky with that song. I heard it on the radio first. I think 94.1 was playing it. And they just said, hey, we're going to talk about this next. And they was
Right,
playing. And I was
right.
like, what is... And what? Oh, my, okay. It was different. When then I saw the video, it hit different. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what they were doing, but I found it funny. But if you got stuck on the guns, if you got stuck on the masks, if you got stuck and it made an emotion in you, and then you allow that emotion to funnel into your direction of how you're looking at it.
Right.
That ends up being a problem. If you're able to step back and let it digest and look at okay, what would it? Even with the kid, you know, with the story whether or not the mom and him were faking it and whatever. Like when you see something, you got to take the emotion out. Right. That's awful.
Right.
And then I'll go, well, let me find who these people are. Let me look into it.
And we don't do that.
No, we don't.
We do not try to find any grain of truth. And
I do sometimes, but I don't all the time.
Everybody's guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And again, and I'm speaking in absolutes, but I don't mean that, right? Like, but the majority of what happens is people just take it at face value and then they run with it. Mm-hmm. And like I've learned, I'm like, man, let me search this story and see if there's some reputable, if we have any left, reputable news outlet or website that is actually reporting the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's just like to the furthest extent, we gotta, I'm trying to think of something that, all right, because I just don't want to speak things into existence, right? But if they like, Eminem's dead.
Whoa.
Everybody, but you see those a lot. You see the death hoax a lot.
Yeah.
So we've come to know now that as soon as we see, somebody died, we got to go look it up first. We should be doing that with everything. Like, we've seen enough of that not be true that we go look it up.
It's the same thing. Okay, coronavirus. So before we start talking about the coronavirus, I just want to make this disclaimer. The Asian delegation got a hold of me. They let me know that my comments were not offensive to the Asian community. So I just want to...
One person can't speak for... How many of them are... I'm sounding real...
No.
Because ain't they like 800 million of them?
If I only know one and that person gave me the pass, that's my circle.
That's it. See? I got 3 black friends, and they come over every Thursday night for bridge.
Shout out to Con and Double Vision. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
I didn't care either way. I couldn't find a mask. I was sick at work, couldn't find a mask.
Well, he told me, he's like, I just wanted, because he listened to the episode, and he's like, I just want to let you know that wasn't offensive. And I put, if I thought it was offensive, I wouldn't have reached out to you. He's got a good sense of humor.
I love Asians.
Shout out to the Asians.
Yes.
Shout out to the Asians.
No, but this coronavirus, we don't know what's real, right? So...
we get a lot of misinformation.
I watched Dr. Drew. He's Dr. Drew. Well, Dr. Drew says the media is overhyping this thing, and you got a better chance of dying from the regular flu. But then, oh my gosh, it's in Florida.
Like, that was one of the biggest things. Everybody thought it's an automatic death sentence.
Yo, there's an election coming up, people. There's an election coming up. The stock markets are going up and down. Everything, the media is scaring you.
Man, let me give some people some financial advice. Right? This is accountant sin talking now. Well, if you got money to buy some stocks, goddammit, this is the time, because the stock market's fucked up right now. Well, you can come around. Let me tell you though. Let me ask you this, right? The airline stock is plummeted like a motherfucker because people are like, we ain't flying nowhere. You think once this shit's over, that they stock not gonna go back up?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Telling you, boy, go get you some United Airlines.
We need to get a hold of our accountant.
I'm telling you.
My guy's on it.
Telling you.
He's listening now too. I know he's on it, so you better hook me up.
Be flying first class.
No, but that's the way the world goes.
Right.
And it seems like whenever election comes up, there's something happens, whether it be gas prices or war or whatever, something's gonna happen. I don't know what to believe. We got a trip planned. I'm not canceling my trip. They're talking about
I have postponed my trip so far.
NBA
have
games.
You?
Yeah, for her birthday in May.
NBA games are going to possibly be played with nobody.
Empty arena. They already doing it in soccer overseas.
Soccer in Italy, they're playing games in empty stadiums.
Right.
Like, I feel like...
Basketball players not signing autographs.
Didn't you say last night you've never seen so many men in the bathroom washing their hands?
I went to the bathroom at the
First of all, why is now washing hands like a thing everybody...
You already should have been doing that.
You should have been washing your hands. What are you talking? I went to the bathroom last night at halftime of the game, right? You know the bathroom at halftime is going to be...
crazy.
Right? I walk in there, there's 4 urinals. There's 4 empty urinals. There's 2 empty stalls.
6 deep at the sink.
They're 8 deep
right.
at the sink.
Right. And motherfuckers just grabbing their penises and just walking out.
There's 4 sinks, only 2 of them are operational. That's a problem in
Right.
itself
Jeez.
with the virus going on. But
And then we went to the.
they're all backed up. I'm like,
You know what that means? That's why you don't shake people's hands.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That's where DAP came from. Because you know, I'm sorry, Jill.
No.
That means they in there shaking off their penis and just walking out the door.
Yeah. I see.
These motherfuckers we all deal with every day. You better dap them up.
Their penis. Okay, so what I was going to say is even at the restaurant afterwards, the waiter the one that I was like, he looks familiar. He took that big old 400 fluid ounce bottle of antibac squirt stuff.
Right.
It was off-brand. It wasn't Purell, but he took that over to his table and he was squirting everybody's hands.
The server was?
Yes.
Shout out to that server.
That's going on.
I'd have tipped them more. I appreciate
Yes.
you looking out for my safety. Let me get some more of that right there.
It was pretty funny.
That's great.
You
I'm
just
just-
don't know what to believe.
I feel like people washing hands was a novelty before this shit happened.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. Goddamn, who raised you?
Right? That's why
Do
I
your
always
part.
have lotion because I'm washing my
Do your
hands
part.
constantly.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
How about that? Come on. I just the point of it is we don't
I
know
hate
what
to
to
see
believe.
what it looked like in the women's bathroom.
Listen.
No, it was empty when I went.
Right.
'Cause we wash our hands all the
We
time.
can technically aim and shoot without having to grab hold of anything.
I mean, unless my zipper's dirty.
My pants is clean. You know what I'm saying?
Coronavirus got my zipper. All I do is touch my zipper.
I've been working on aiming at this thing for years. Y'all actually got to touch some shit though. Like I
mean, if you don't put your zipper up,
Right.
you really could just.
I was just saying, if your belt ain't too tight, you just pull that bitch down and just.
I wish we had live camera right now. Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, we've been practicing. Parents been getting on to us for missing the goddamn toilet since we was 5 and shit. So,
Oh my, it's so disgusting.
so we've been working on this aim. We can get away without touching it.
Well, some of us need to be working harder.
Hey.
Hey, I didn't say any names. Don't get offended.
I'm glad mine ain't here. She be talking shit about me right now. She be like, you miss in the middle of the night. I'm half asleep in the middle of the night.
You lucky I even got up.
Right.
Is it time for diapers? Is it time for diapers?
Start aiming into the bathtub. It's a bigger net.
You'd have a bigger. You'd have a better chance.
I don't need no diapers. But I'm 42. I may need the pad that we seen at
Oh
the
my
beach.
gosh.
I didn't know that was the thing.
What?
We're at the beach and we had to run to Walmart. So we're in one of the aisles. I forget what she was looking at. And I'm looking at the shelf and there's this guy who's a lot younger than me. And he's standing there and without a shirt
And
on.
he's fit.
And he's fit and he's got on some boxer briefs. And it's basically a penis liner for men.
A penis.
A penis liner.
Tennis liner. Let me hold on before we go further. I got to tell you the story on that shit, right? So I was working in Fayetteville at Circuit City like in '98, and I had this real country ass coworker named Tamara, and she said that shit to me. What the fuck? It's been 20 years. I say that shit all the time now. She said we was at work and she said she was talking about I think she was talking about one of her kids or something. She was teaching him how to potty train. She was like, and we tell him to shake his little penis and all. I'm sorry, what? Sorry, Tamara. I'm country as shit, but that shit sounded like a next level shit. His what? I called it his penis. And I was like, okay, that shit's sticking with me forever now. Like, I can't get that shit out my head.
Penis.
But go ahead, my bad, my
So,
bad.
this young guy has these little liners that you put on your underwear in case you have leakage after your pee. So I'm looking at Jim like, this is a real thing. Like, I thought it was just like old people. And then this guy walks by.
So he got a pad for his penis?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a panty
So
liner.
after you put it back in your boxers, in case it continues to
In
leak.
case it leak, you got some coverage.
We're not teaching shaking all things.
But I guess apparently guys have that problem where you get a little leakage after you're done or whatever.
These the same people not washing their hands.
So
These
then
new millennials.
This guy walked by with a cart. I was like, we was out of the section at this time, but the package stuck in my brain. This guy walked by. He was younger than me. He had a package of them in his car.
What brand is it? Please tell me it's like
I forgot
Kotex,
about that. That's true.
Kotex, or one of the pad companies.
It took everything I had.
I'ma tell you right-
It's depends.
Whoever came up with that shit is a genius, because they sat in a boardroom somewhere and pitched that shit, and they were like, "Hey, sometimes your penis still leaks a few drips. This is just a natural progression. We can start marketing to men now."
I think it was this one. It's called Guards.
Oh
the green one.
man.
The green one, yeah.
It's dependent.
Right,
Depends.
Yeah, okay, depends. I see you, dog.
I'm gonna tell you a true
That
story.
motherfucker got a raise.
I'm gonna tell you a true story about my
But
crazy.
it's like a cup. It's like a cup
the cup you wear in baseball.
that you wear in baseball, but it's a pad.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
So this is a true story. I'm gonna talk about my crazy family for a second. So on my mom's
You
side
need
of the
more time than that.
on my mom's side of the family, one of her aunts. So yeah, it was her aunt. So I think her grandma's. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to mess it up. But anyway, I'm gonna just go with her aunt. So her aunt, they like to partake in a few alcoholic beverages, right?
Okay.
So when they were younger.
Couple spirits.
So when they were in their mid-20s, my mom's aunt and her friends, there was this bar that you drank for free until women drank for free
So they had to go to the bathroom.
until they broke the seal,
Damn, I need.
right? All right. So what they did is they went and got some Depend diapers.
Wow.
They put them on and they went to the bar and they drank and drank and drank.
And they just.
And
wow.
they just went and
Damn, you couldn't have just got 2 or 3 drinks and broke the seal. You got to.
That was
It's
your
college days.
That was your family, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's college days. Like
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you right now,
That's commitment.
a catheter popped into my head and shit. I'm like, I'm about to drink all night in this some bitch.
now you say that. You know they sell, Jen, you can look this up. Because I don't want the listeners to think I make up stuff on the pod. All right?
Do it for the pod.
They sell a thing that you hook up to your penis.
Right.
So if you're at an NFL game,
Oh, you ain't gotta leave.
it comes with a tube that you run down your pant leg
Okay.
and out your pant leg. So
Into
if
the
you-
stands?
So when you're sitting in Green Bay,
I swear to God.
and it's 12 degrees, and you got that beer, and you're shivering, you ain't got to get up from your seat. You just drink your beer and let it ride out the tube onto the ground. Tell me I'm
Same
wrong.
people that's not washing their hands.
This
These
is
are the
true
same
things.
ones.
These are true.
Dap
This is
everybody
America.
up.
This is America.
Dap everybody up. You know, that's why we say shout out to the Chinese, because they sanitary.
Asians.
The Asians, my bad. Goddamn. Shout out to the Asians. They sanitary.
You know what's funny?
They washing down the whole streets and shit with this thing.
When Khan messaged me, he said that he was going to, I think it was Applebee's, and he joked around. He was going to throw on a mask.
Man, you
and go
better
on.
not cough. No, sir.
He wanted
I'm
to
sorry,
get a
sir.
table quick.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't have any tables available for you.
That is so funny. And what he was saying, and this is true, and I want to touch on this, Khan. He was saying it wouldn't be the Asian people that had a problem with what I said. We get offended for other people.
Right.
Let the people
Right.
stop trying to speak for people.
That's true.
You know, like funny's funny, jokes are jokes, and from us here, there's never going to be anything malicious. We're just going to have fun and talk, as you can see what we're doing
Most
today.
of the time. Some people, we really mean fuck you when we say that shit. Like Weinstein. Fuck that motherfucker.
Listen, let's talk about Weinstein and the music.
Yeah, I knew that was on the thing.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, let's
Well,
talk
oh
about
Lord,
it.
what did I miss?
We good.
We can go an hour and a half. We got to today. This shit been good. We ain't did this in a minute. This shit been good.
Forget all the little ones. We'll just keep
All
going.
right, so
We do an hour and a half today.
Harvey Weinstein. For those of you don't know, and we're not even gonna get into it. We know Harvey Weinstein was charged with a lot of bad things that he's done.
Oh shit! I didn't even mean Weinstein. I'm talking about the other motherfucker we talked about.
Epstein, not
Epstein.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into
I'm saying when I said fuck him, I really meant that shit.
right. But we're gonna get into Weinstein today, because I was listening to an episode.
I don't know
He's
enough
so
about him.
gross.
Was he actually making women sleep with him for jobs? Like,
Yeah, meeting.
Actually sleep with them.
Yes,
So,
meeting them in the hotel
Is it
room.
Keegley? Let me see. Uncle Joey is what I call him. It's called The Church of What's Happening Now. Joey Coco Diaz is the podcast. I think it's Jen. Can you look up to see if Kate Keegley is one of the actresses that?
Hey, let's shout out
Old school skin flicks and locals that actually strike a conversation
like,
with you.
what the hell?
It has a special night that caters to many whims and subcultures. And there's a cover.
That's it.
Also,
So I was listening to this podcast, and when the whole Harvey Weinstein thing came out about the Me Too and all these actresses coming forward, the first thing I did was looked at his picture of what he looked like.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this isn't shocking.
Oh yeah, that's what
Like,
you're gonna have to do that
shocking.
shit to get some
He's
pussy.
not a good looking
Right.
guy. He's got power.
Right. That's what
But
they
in
do.
my mind, I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of women, a lot of actresses that would have absolutely no problem
Listen.
doing what.
Listen, this is about to be one of them moments. I might would have let Harvey Weinstein touch my ass if he'd put me in a movie.
You see what I'm
I'm just
saying?
saying, like, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of them women because that's fucked up. Like that is some bullshit.
Yeah, it's nasty.
But today, right now, if he put me in a movie, he can smack a cheek. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So when I heard it, I had my own opinion. Like, yeah, this has been going on from the beginning of time. Men and women bartering for whatever.
Right, and I was gonna say though, like I'm being funny. I meant the shit, but I'm being funny too. But I have a choice. Then that's the difference, right? Like a lot of women aren't getting fair shakes and shit. So they didn't have a choice to do that. You know what I mean? So
Is she the one that?
I can't find anything
Okay,
on it.
okay. So the episode that I was.
But she is a comedian.
Yeah, she's a comedian actress. I think it's her. That was the episode I was listening to. I sent it to you guys to listen to. When I heard her, and she didn't come out right away. She didn't want to be part of it.
right,
Is it the Elliot Chang show?
It was on
because that shit is that's
So
some,
when I heard her say her story,
right.
okay, and I'm gonna paraphrase through it real quick, but basically she went to Hollywood. She was trying to make it. Within a week of being there, she was introduced to Jeffrey.
No, Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. I keep
Right.
mixing them two guys.
Yeah,
up.
because they both dirtbags.
So she got introduced to him right away.
Right.
She goes to a hotel. They're downstairs having drinks. She meets him. He says, let's go upstairs and talk. She's thinking in her mind, he's a business guy. He don't want to be down here. People recognize him. They go up to the room. When they go up in the room, he tells her that he wants her to write a pilot for a sitcom.
Okay.
And she's a writer. So she starts, okay. And he says, I'll be right back. Pen and pad, pitch your idea to me.
Right.
Man comes out in a robe. In her mind, she think, oh, he's about to, get ready for take a shower.
Right.
Or
He's
whatever.
just getting
Like,
comfortable.
She
He
thought it was
might
kinda odd.
grab him a drink.
She said he made reference again to writing
Right.
and then pulled his penis
Right.
out, handled his business, finished, and then went right into talking business again.
Ain't that like the other comedian that was accused of that?
CK,
Yeah, Rowley, Rowley's.
something like
no, that's the writer. That's the author.
So when she said it, she was like, just so she left. She's like, all right, I gotta go. I work. So basically, he told her to work on the script. He contacted her a few times. She kind of ignored the calls.
Right, because that's some creepy shit.
Called again, but she's trying to make it.
Right.
She didn't want to go the second time, but she went.
Because she didn't feel like she had an option.
So the second time she goes, takes her back to her room. She's kind of uncomfortable. She feels like it's going to happen again. This time he comes out naked. And she says at that point, she's like, no, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Right.
He went up behind her. He said, no, don't go. Got up behind her. And she said they were standing at the door outside the bathroom.
Right.
And there's a long mirror there. And she's looking into the mirror, and he's standing behind her naked. And he tells her, just stand here and don't move. Handles his business. Finishes. and then she left, and she never seen him again.
Fucking creeps, man.
So when I heard that, I'm like, okay.
He deserved everything he get.
I never defended him.
True.
I wasn't
true.
defending him.
Right.
I'm saying in my mind,
It became more real
some
for
of
you,
these
you know.
actresses that came forward, I'm thinking, okay, did he really put you in a position where you had
Right.
no choice? Because you have a choice. Because
Right.
I didn't hear anybody say
He held me
physically
down.
held me down and
Right,
raped
right.
me. You know, it's just kind of like, well, if I didn't do this, I wasn't going to get the part or something like
Right.
that. And then I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of women that won't have no problem with that.
Right.
But then when I heard this woman talk,
Right.
and I thought about my daughters and my wife, and my
Right.
sister and mom,
You
and
ready
like,
to whoop his ass?
I just looked at it like, wait a second. For you men out there, you just because you're able to treat one woman away or 7 women away does not give you the right to treat all women that way. Yes, there are some women out there that will do whatever you want them to do to move forward in life. Like you
I
just
don't
said,
even think that's fair though. Like,
like you just said, he could smack one cheek for you
right.
to get on a movie.
But I'm consenting to that ahead of time.
You could send him to ahead of time.
That's the difference.
And in his powerful mind, all women are going to do what I say. I'm
Well, that's why he's deserving every bit of this shit that he's getting.
Exactly.
Because
you
it's
cannot treat all
it's
women the same. Like you can't. You can't.
narcissistic power move, and yeah, it's trash. It's pure trash. I get what you're saying. It's easy for us. We do it with all the other stuff too, with the police stories and all this other stuff, and why people who have experienced that stuff, like this is. I'm really glad you brought this up because that'll tie into that. It's easy to minimalize what somebody else went through until you get the full picture. Right? Because like I could sit here and for the record, and we've talked about this, I firmly believe that you can support Leos and be against police brutality. I do not think that there are two sides of a coin that you have to be on either side of. I think that, and my brother, he's on a task force and stuff, so I don't say his name and stuff like that, but I can support him 100%. I can meet a sheriff and be supportive and give to the policeman's ball or whatever, and still see a case where an officer goes too far and think that officer needs to be punished. Like you can be both. You know what I'm saying? It's easy when your side is to say support officers to minimalize what somebody else went through. Well, did the officer actually do this or well, what did the kid do before the video started? Like, it's easy to do that stuff, but if I sat here and told you some stories and you actually listened to me tell the story, you would feel. I'm not saying you'd all of a sudden stop supporting officers, but I don't think you're that way, but I think the people who just blindly support officers would be more of the, okay, I need to look at each case individually. And vice versa. There's stories of officers that didn't do anything wrong and they get railroaded. You know what I mean? If we sat and listened to that officer tell the story and we got all the facts out, I feel like people would be like, hey, you know what? Maybe it really is hard being a police officer in certain situations, right? And the funny shit is, me saying this right now, there's going to be people that are like, damn, he's against officers. And there's going to be other people that are like, this Uncle Tom motherfucker. With everything I just said that is like non-biased to either side, I'm going to still get that shit right
because
now.
it's easier for people, when we talk about the tribal situation,
Right.
It's easier for people to just pick a side and ride for it and not put any
Blind
thought
faith.
into it and not care.
Right.
Because it's easier. And that's why one of the episodes we were talking about, I made the comment where they just ride for that side, but they don't get caught up in. It's hard being us. It's hard.
Right.
When you look at things the way we look at things, it's not easy.
Right. Both our last presidents, or the current president and Obama, right? People who supported Obama, there was black folks that supported Obama. He could have did no wrong. The same is going on with Trump. Trump even made light of the shit. Trump was like, I can stand in the middle of the road and shoot somebody in the face, and I'm still going to win this election. Because there are people who do not care.
He said that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Trump
Said that.
Trump.
He's arrogant.
You listen.
He wasn't wrong. He wasn't like, and I'm not. This is not me supporting him or not supporting him. He wasn't wrong. I'm sorry, I got country there. He wasn't wrong.
I'm going to say this because we are not a political podcast,
Right? Definitely.
But we make fun of. I want to say this though, for everybody out there that badmouths Trump and rides hard against them, he's the most gangster, hip hop cultured president that we've ever. He is more hip hop and culture acting than Obama ever was.
No, I don't agree with that.
You kidding me?
I
the
think
things that he says.
I don't know, man.
The things that
I'm
he
saying,
says.
I think he
don't
is.
give a damn.
This is what I've said about whether you like him or dislike him. He has been this. All right, hear me all the way out with this. Right? I make a blanket statement and then I have to explain it. He's been the most honest politician we've ever seen. Now, yes, he says shit that is factually incorrect. Like, people fact check him all the time, as they do with all presidents. But he said, this is what I want to do when I get into office, and he tried to do that shit. Whether or not some things have succeeded, some things haven't, he's been the most honest. Obama was the smoothest one. He's more hip-hop, basketball. He was the smoothest one. Trump's been the most honest one.
Okay, so when we're looking at the video, when I say hip hop and culture,
like Obama's shaking the white man's head.
That's how I said. I ain't saying that he's smoother.
I don't think there's anything gangster about what Trump's doing. I'm just saying, like, he's being
gangster.
honest.
When
He's
you look
gangster
at- when you
in
look
a
at
way
the-
that he don't care.
Obama's R&B. Obama's
Yeah,
R&B.
there you go.
Right.
There you
Right?
go.
He likes some
That's Teddy
Josie,
Riley.
I agree
That's
with
Teddy
that.
Riley.
Like that's Obama.
And
He's a cool cat.
Trump is Suge Knight.
Yes,
I
there
get
you
it.
go.
Trump is the
would.
street.
I see it.
Perfect.
He'll tell
I
other
get what you're saying.
presidents, other
I'm gonna do this shit, and ain't nothing y'all
you ain't
do
gonna do
about
nothing
it.
about it.
I get it.
I'm gonna
I get
win,
it.
and y'all
I
ain't
get
gonna
it.
do-
I get it.
I can shoot somebody, and I'm still gonna win.
Right.
Like that's gangster.
Right.
And before Trump ever talked about, like, rappers had him in his videos and all that.
Oh, that's
like,
true. I tell people all the time,
don't
nobody
act
thought he
like-
was racist until he
Yeah.
started running for president.
And just like nobody thought Obama wasn't from this country until he started running for president. Nobody
Right.
thought Bush was a
Flip-sided.
racist until he
Right.
the whole war. So this happens in politics.
You're right. You're right.
So I look at it with the Trump situation the same way I look at it with Florida State. We are those people.
Right.
That even if I'm the biggest Gator fan, I hate Florida State way worse than I hate Miami.
Right.
But if Florida State's good,
it's like what I just
can
said
say
about.
they're good.
It's like what I said about Tebow on the father-son show.
right?
Now I despise Florida State more than I do Florida, but like I said, Tebow might be the greatest college athlete of all time. I'm not saying the most physically gifted, or I'm
Well-rounded.
saying all the way around.
This wasn't on the show script, but let's transition right into Tebow for a second. Okay.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Let's get off the politics.
Let me call Ed Reed up. Ed Reed, you listening?
Yeah, Ed.
Let's get this shit.
Yeah,
the
Ed.
greatest from the best football college. Since we talking about Tebow's the greatest college player,
Well,
Ed Reed played on the greatest college football team of all time.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that.
Right.
All right. So, way to go, Miami. Good
Yeah.
job. But I can say that.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong on that because
Right.
I'm able to look at things. You
don't let your pride get in the way.
Exactly. I'm
That's
still
it.
going to ride for the Gators when they
Right.
play them. But if Florida State's got a better team and they win, I'm not
Right.
looking to blame the coaches, the
Right.
refs, or whatever.
Like when Charlie Ward won that Heisman, he was
It
a
is
bad
what it
dude.
is. You know what I mean?
Right.
When Tebow won, it's what
Right.
it is. But moving it aside, taking the sport out of it.
Right.
Well, you can't take the sport out of it because it's part of what I'm talking about. As many people, when you just talk about Bulldog fans, Tennessee fans, Kentucky fans, Florida
Fuck
State,
the SEC.
Miami,
Okay,
like
there we go, there we go.
all the teams that hate
the big-
Florida,
right.
Okay, all that. The man goes and plays in the NFL, gets criticized,
Yeah.
The same level.
'Cause he was bad.
And a lot of the same reasons that Kaepernick lost opportunities, so did Tim Tebow. Okay, they didn't want the circus, the media circus following. It's
there's a
parallel.
similarity, yeah.
Okay. Tim
Tebow couldn't
goes,
throw a football,
but you know, he took the Denver Broncos further in the playoffs than
they beat the Steelers. And he
when
threw
they
for
let
like
him go.
400 yards against
Okay,
the Steelers
yeah.
defense. The only game he actually threw the ball.
He's a winner.
He is. I agree
Okay?
with that.
He goes and does the Mets
He's
thing.
a leader of men.
He did a decent job for coming in at the age that he did, trying to make the Mets. He got,
But
cut
then he
this
made
week.
the Mets because he was Tim Tebow.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it. But he didn't. He was progressing. He had some injuries.
I will say in his defense too, he didn't take things like he didn't ask for special treatment and things like that.
My point that I want to get to with Tim Tebow is every hater out there has been looking for something negative about this guy.
Right.
Ain't nothing ever come up. This man is always inspiring.
Yeah, he's a good
Always
dude.
motivational. And they can't find anything.
Tim, let me ask Tim Tebow this. I'm speaking to Tim as a University of Miami fan. Tim Tebow strikes me as the kind of person that would have the character. Tim, we got to get you to call into the show, man, for like a couple minutes. He just he may never do it, but he strikes me as the type to be like, you know what, these guys are getting off the ground. I'll lend a hand. Like, he just seems like that strong of a character type of dude.
I'll be here.
Right. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna sweeten the pot. I'll wear a Florida jersey if he calls in, and we put. Oh,
Now you
God.
got if he calls in, you switch to
No.
Florida.
I'm a fan. I'm a Hurricane.
Your second team will be the Gators.
My second team would be the Florida
Okay,
Gators.
we're gonna make this
And
happen.
I'd wear a jersey
We
and
put
post
this-
it.
we putting this
Everybody
into-
that can share this and tag Tebow. We're going to try and ride another about 50, 20 minutes.
All right.
But I will wear a jersey. I don't care if it's for 2 minutes just to say, hey, guys.
No, you can wear it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he only calls for like 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
You could just.
I don't care if he just shares the...
Yeah, you could just share it on Instagram.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned.
Tim, you give us a follow. Your page with the blue check mark gives us a follow. You just got a secondary Gator fan.
All we got to do is ask. All we can say is no.
Hey, and then I'm gonna take this part of the clip. We gonna post it and see if we can reach Tim.
All right, let's do it.
Because he is, like I said, I'm a Hurricanes fan, but he's done it the right way.
So, saying all that I said, and the real question in the last 15 minutes that I want to talk about here, I think about things like this a lot. I don't know why I think like this, but I do. Let's say that we live in a time where the Bible was never written.
Ooh, we're trying to get Tim to call.
I know. No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
This may make him want to call.
Okay.
The Bible was never written. Bible's being written as we speak.
Okay.
We're living in that time.
Gotcha.
All right. The Bible's being written as we speak. Who's going to be in the Bible?
What do you mean? You mean like as if it had not been written up until
if it had
this
not
point?
been written to this point, and there was a man walking amongst us.
Oh man, Jason.
Listen, who would you give that nod to?
What nod? You talking about
Who's
the
in
Jesus Christ nod?
Now listen to what I'm saying. You got to put yourself in this scenario. The Bible has not been written. The Bible's being written now.
And we're writing the book of entertainment.
Who is the closest thing?
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I don't understand. I don't know what you're asking.
It's not hard. The Bible's being written now. We got to put somebody in the Bible. What's
Well,
the
there's
name?
all kind of books in the Bible, though.
Oh, I'm not breaking down the
I get
books
what
of
you're
the
saying.
Bible. I'm saying who is worthy of being mentioned in the the only Bible that's being
So
written.
you're asking me if Tim Tebow would make a
What is
current
he-
edition, if the Bible had never been written, would Tim Tebow make it into the Bible?
Yes.
I
Can you name somebody else that would be put in the Bible?
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like we would. I feel like there's a difference between worthy of making something like that and historically needing to be in there. Dude, this is a tough subject, and you know, like we don't get into these things a lot. I mean, based on what I don't know him. Based on what he has presented to the world, I would be okay with Tim Tebow being in the sports entertainment section of a new Bible. You know what I mean? Historically, there's going to be other people that deserve to be in it, that would be in it more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But as far as, I will say this, let's kind of get off of that. I would say that of all the entertainers and sports figures and people that the current society and world likes to project to us to be our role models and the people we look up to, if he is not the most, he's in the top 3, 5, or what, he would make the Mount Rushmore of most decent of any of those individuals.
Okay. So bringing that up, and it is a hard topic, and it could be its own show.
Right.
I'm not bringing that up to take anything away from the Bible that was written or any religion that you believe out there. Right. What I'm bringing up now is, like, let's just say in the last, when you say historical figures, like, let's just say we've only been living for 20 years, and there's a Bible being written, he's going to have a major part in it.
Well, that's why I took the route I took. If we decided to make a Mount Rushmore of decent stars, public figures, I feel like he would be on it.
And that's what I'm getting at. We need to give people their flowers when they're here.
True.
So, Tim Tebow, you're listening. Carolina Don Show, Carolina Sin, put it out there to you to call in, share, whatever. But I want to give him his flowers now.
He deserves
there's so many haters out there.
Yeah, he does.
That ride for everything we're talking about, whether it be the rap video, the trap version of Rascal Flatts, politics, race, the police. Everybody rides so hard for the hate or the love that they have, but they're not willing to look into it. And a lot of the people that are haters of Tim Tebow hate him for a couple of reasons. They hate him because he played for the Gators, and they hate him for his NFL-style quarterback. He wasn't an NFL quarterback.
Right.
So they ride for that.
Right. The purest.
Anything. Oh, he's going to
baseball. It's like how y'all ride for people getting hit by pitch.
He's going to baseball. He's taking a spot from a minor leaguer.
Right.
No, that was a good business decision by the Mets to bring him in.
Hands down.
So
hands down.
Those people, you can't tell anything else. So
that's like declining Michael Jordan to play for the Barons.
Right. I mean,
the White Sox knew what they were doing.
I just look at things, and I said I think about it a lot. I look at things and I go, okay, this individual has done nothing negative. The only thing I think he may have said hell in that legendary speech that he gave after they lost the game.
And
he had
like,
the ball fourth
another game.
He said, from this moment on, you'll never have a teammate work harder than.
Right.
Like, he may have said hell in that. That's the only thing.
Which is a top 10 sports speech.
Yeah, that's the only thing negative.
Right.
And that's not even a negative. That was a passion moment. Like, this man has from.
Right.
I got to give him his props.
It's one of the credits that I give LeBron James. Like, we've seen a lot of stars that accentuate to where he's at the top tier, but that get to his level, and you hear all these things about them, and like the worst thing that most people can say about him. Morality, like as far as cussing and stuff like that. But it's like when you compare him to all these other ball players and stuff like that. He's raising his family. He's going to basketball games. He's not. You don't hear about him fighting You don't hear about him fighting in the club. His biggest takeaway is he's too focused on growing his empire. Yeah. That's what people would get on him about. The decision. That's his worst decision, ironically, is the decision and how he handled that.
Yeah. I've never been a LeBron fan.
Same.
Ever since that decision that you speak of, I kind of looked at him. He had a big uphill battle with me.
And Dwayne Wade helped with that because he grew a lot.
Yeah. So
in Miami,
but I take nothing away from LeBron James. Right. He's ambassador for sports.
Right. And then, like you said, people hate on him for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, they hate on him.
He's not Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like,
But I still put Kobe as number 2. He's number 3. LeBron's number 3.
okay. I mean, Jordan's number 1 to me.
Yeah, but
it's just hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this show up. But like I said in the beginning of the show,
Well, we went from end of spectrum to end of spectrum.
But we're gonna end it right here, and then we're coming right back with another episode. So tune into that one if you want.
We're getting some.
That one's gonna get onto the state of hip hop and
Yeah. Sorry.
the 90s hip hop to hip
Whitest
hop
person
now.
in the room.
All right, so there will be a bonus episode coming out this week. So
She over here raising the roof.
check that one out as well. Again, check out eBoats of Tampa. eBoatsoftampa.com.
E-Boats to Tampa. Let's get us a rental.
I'm going in June.
We'll post it.
Are you?
Yeah, he told me about it
we're all
last
going.
night.
We're all going.
No, but I'm going with some
Yeah,
girls.
she's got a work. But yeah, we're going with the boys.
Yo, what's that?
No.
Crew. Yo, Theo, crew chip.
On the ship.
I'm part of crew.
Oh,
No, now she want to be a part of the crew. Now, Carolina everywhere.
That's how we
Jason
do
the
it.
Don.
I hate you guys.
Holler at us, Dukes.